The Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) has made a number of nods to the mutants ever since, the most recent of which was Patrick Stewart's return as Professor X in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This was, however, in an alternative version of Earth, so it was still yet to be seen whether the X-Men would appear in the multiverse the MCU is set in. Evan Peters' Quicksilver officially became a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in WandaVision. Peters was recast in the role of Pietro Maximoff, the late twin brother of Wanda Maximoff, played by Elizabeth Olsen. The MCU's Quicksilver was previously played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he died in Avengers: Age of Ultron. The fact that there was a Quicksilver in the X-Men movies and in the MCU is due to the strange distribution of Marvel's character rights. Marvel's X-Men and mutant characters were owned by Fox, not Disney, for years. This included Quicksilver, a mutant and the son of Magneto in the comics. However, he was also an Avenger, and Marvel Studios retained the rights to the Avengers lineup of characters when they started the MCU, and Quicksilver was no exception. Evan Peters has reprised his role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After appearing as Pietro Maximoff in X-Men: Days of Future Past, X-Men: Apocalypse, and X-Men: Dark Phoenix, we thought the character might be the first to make the jump across the multiverse and replace Aaron Taylor Johnson's version. But in a cruel twist plotted by Agatha Harkness, the final episode of WandaVision on Disney Plus revealed the character's true identity to be a struggling actor named Ralph Bohner. While this twist did not sit well with many Marvel fans, Peters said he had a blast on the series. Prior to WandaVision's finale, MCU President Kevin Feige also expressed his excitement on Peters' casting decision for Quicksilver and bringing him over from the X-Men franchise. The introduction of mutants. Ever since the MCU's Phase 4 was announced by Feige, they have introduced mutants into the MCU in a way that opens the door for a real Evan Peters Quicksilver MCU appearance. The most recent mutant to be included in the MCU is Miss Marvel. The Kamala Khan of the MCU isn't an Inhuman like her comic book counterpart, but is in fact the MCU's first confirmed Earth-616 mutant. Not only have mutants been officially canonized on screen, but they also canonically share likenesses with their Fox X-Men movie counterparts. So, could Evan Peters return to the MCU? Well, now that mutants are part of the MCU and Disney Marvel have shown zero restraint about carrying over fan-favorite castings from Fox's X-Men stewardship, there's never been a stronger chance that Evan Peters' Quicksilver will return to the MCU, for real this time. As the response to his cameo in WandaVision shows, there's clearly a demand for the American Horror Story actor to continue playing Marvel's token speedster. A return would also help explain why Agatha knew to choose Ralph Bohner of all people for her Quicksilver stand-in. If most Quicksilver variants look like Peters rather than Aaron Taylor Johnson, it would explain why Agatha's magic used his face when creating a Quicksilver to torment Wanda with. When the X-Men do return to the MCU, there's now no reason the lineup can't include Evan Peters as Quicksilver once again.